Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Bright. I'm going to go over the Western High School cheerleading rules and expectations for the 2020-2021 school year. I usually do this during a parent meeting after the squads have been chosen, but obviously this year is a little bit different. So I'm going to go through it via a video, and I hope that all of you watch it as I think it will answer a lot of the questions that have been coming up. So I'm just going to go through this. I'll add different things here and there, and then if you have any questions, you can always contact me via email or band. So, Western High School Cheer Program mission is to promote and uphold school spirit, unity, and pride, represent the school to the highest degree, set an example of good behavior and sportsmanship at all times, both in and out of uniform, promote friendship with each other and with schools with whom we compete, and attend camp, promote the development of lifelong values and skills. Our goals, and these are definitely goals we want to happen even in the midst of COVID, is to cheer at boys football and basketball games. Junior varsity for the junior varsity games, varsity for the varsity games. Junior varsity cheerleaders may be asked to participate in cheering for varsity events. So I am going to stop here and say that currently the girls are going to be cheering at home games minus this Kokomo game this weekend. So when we are at home, the JV and the varsity will cheer at home, at least during football season. When basketball season comes about, we'll reevaluate to see as far as what basketball looks like. But in a typical year, JV would cheer for JV and varsity would cheer for varsity, minus varsity home football games in which all of the girls would cheer. This says participate and support in homecoming week, sectional, senior night, youth spirit camps, and cheer appreciation. All of those things right now are kind of up in the air, but if we have them, we will be participating. Support and perform at PEP sessions. Not sure if that's going to happen, but again, we will do it if we are. Perform community service of coach's choice. We'll see what we can find. And participate in baking and meal preparation or giving a monetary donation at designated times set forth by the coaching staff. This talks about football dinners and cheer appreciation. Right now, we're actually not allowed to have any meals like that, so we don't need to worry about those things. Expectations and conduct. Cheerleaders must be neat and well-groomed at all times. So that includes your hair when you are cheering, either practice or a game needs to be halfway up or all the way up. No gum at all during practice or at games, and you must wear the assigned uniform. It's really important to bring it up that me as the coach, will choose what uniform the girls are going to wear. If a uniform is changed, it's going to come from me. It will not come from another student. Number 2, cheerleaders will promote good sportsmanship by way of example at all times. And I put that in bold because that includes during the school day. And remember that I am a teacher, even though I'm not there right now. And I do see and hear quite a bit. So just make sure you are being a good example at all times. Number 3, cheerleaders will display proper behavior in class. Again, I'm a teacher, I'm in the building. Your other teachers will talk to me if you're not, so please make sure you are behaving. Number 4, cheerleaders will not use foul language at practices, in school, at games, camps, etc. So make sure your mouth is clean. Excessive displays of affection are never considered appropriate, especially when in uniform. There will be no boyfriends in the assigned cheer section. So during basketball season, we all sit together. We will not have any boyfriends in that section. There should be no removable jewelry at all. So do not wear jewelry at practices or games. If you have a new piercing, whether it's a belly button or just an ear piercing, you will want to take a Band-Aid and cover that up. You do not want to be stunting and one of those get yanked out. That would hurt tremendously. So make sure that if you have something that cannot be removed, that it is covered. If a cheerleader is caught abusing alcohol and or drugs or tobacco, the school rules will apply and you can see the handbook. By being a Western cheerleader, you are accepting the concept that your actions might be viewed more prominently than those not associated with this activity. You are a cheerleader, therefore exemplary behavior is mandatory at all times. So again, we need to make sure we are paying attention to how we behave both inside and outside of uniform. Failure to follow the rules of etiquette and behavior for a Western high school cheerleader can result in the discipline, either benching or suspension of the cheerleader at any time, including during the game itself. And that would be coming from me. So just make sure that, again, you are just on your best behavior at all times. Number 10, inappropriate electronic posting such as emails, photographs, or profiles that bring into question the character or integrity of a cheerleader and or reflects negatively on Western School Corporation could result in disciplinary action up to dismissal from the squad. So we've been really trying to stress this with our students just as a whole. Just make sure you're paying attention to what you post. We see this with athletes, professional athletes, things that they posted years ago having an impact on who they are today. So just make sure you're really thinking before you post. Number 12, insubordination and or disrespect will not be tolerated. You know how to be respectful. I am first and foremost a teacher at Western High School, and we will maintain that respect. Number 13, bullying of teammates and or other students will not be tolerated. You may not be the best of friends, but you must get along and respect one another. So I realize that we are a group of girls and that there will be times where we don't get along. But when you step through those gym doors, you are going to be happy and you're going to get along with those girls. Again, you don't have to be best friends. You don't have to hang out on the weekend, but you do need to make sure that you are being kind to one another at all times. I've had some questions about this already, so I want to make sure that we have an understanding here. So, all practices, camps, and games are mandatory with the following exceptions. So, any JV and varsity cheerleader may participate as a member of any Western athletic team during the football and basketball seasons. If a cheerleader is playing on a varsity team, then the sport takes precedence over cheering when a game or meet conflicts with a cheerleading game or practice. When an athletic practice conflicts with the weekly scheduled cheerleading practice takes precedence over the athletic practice. Exceptions can only be made through arrangements made mutually between the coaches of the sport and the cheerleader. So let me just explain this again because this is where people get confused. You are only excused for another activity if it is a Western athletic activity. If you say, Mrs. Bright, I have dance class at this time and I can't come to practice, then you will receive the consequences because that is not a Western activity. If you are involved in a Western athletic activity and you have a game on the day of a practice, then I will work with you to make sure that you get to that game. When you have a game, whether it's home or away, you need to make sure you're managing your time. If we have practice from 3 to 5 and your bus doesn't leave until 4:30, you're expected to be there until 4:15 or whatever you need to get ready for your game. So just make sure that you are communicating with me about that. All of the athletic coaches, both fall and winter coaches, know that we have practices on Thursdays from 3 to 5. If you have soccer practice or cross country or swimming or whatever at that same time on a Thursday and it's not a game, you are excused from that practice and you are coming to cheerleading practice. There is no question about that. And Mr. Larsh can clarify and he will tell you the same thing. So again, all the coaches know that. If there is ever a question or if you're like, hey, I really need to do this, this, and this, please make sure that you are communicating with me before practice, preferably a day or two before or even sooner or earlier than that. And please make sure that you're communicating with both me and your athletic coach, and we'll work together. If a cheerleader is absent from school with an excused absence the day of a game or practice, then missing the game or practice scheduled for that day will be excused. So if you are missing school for a funeral, or if you were sick and you weren't able to come into school, then obviously you would be excused from that activity. I apologize. Don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Duties and responsibilities. Practices will be held every Thursday after school from 3 to 5. Cheerleaders are required to be at practice dressed appropriately and on time. All practices are mandatory. So again, unless you have an athletic game or match, you need to make sure that you are at those practices. And even if you do, you make sure that you're managing your time well. There is no chewing gum or eating during practices or games unless exceptions are allowed by coaching staff. There is no stunting, no jumping, no cheering without a cheer coach present during practices and warm-up times. So you cannot practice without me in the gym with you. There will be no cell phones during practices or games. You may look at them during practice, during water breaks, and at halftime only during games. So this really applies mostly to basketball because we all sit together. You do not have your phone with you. If you do have your phone with you, it will be sitting with me until halftime where you can go put it in your bag. So just make sure that you are paying attention to that rule and really respecting it. All cheerleaders will show up to games or meeting places with proper uniform, shoes, and ribbon ready to go. Coach Bright will create a calendar specifying what needs to be worn for each game into school. Changes can only be made by a coach. So I don't have that calendar ready yet because we're not 100% sure on what games are going to look like. So just make sure you're paying attention to band. If school is in session the day of a game, cheerleaders must attend school for the required period of time in order to cheer at that game. Exceptions will only be made if the absence is excused by the school. Cheerleaders are to be at the school for home games at the time designated by the coaching staff. For away games, cheerleaders must arrive at the meeting point at least 10 minutes before the assigned leaving time. If you are not there when we are on a bus and it's time for us to go, I will say, especially if it's a long haul, we will leave you. So please make sure that you are on time. If for some reason you're running behind, make sure you communicate. Socializing with friends while the game is in progress is not allowed. You have a job to do. Now, this sounds pretty harsh, and I don't want you just to ignore people if they walk by. But if you're at a football game, just make sure you're not leaning up against the fence, just chatting it up with your buddies when you're supposed to be cheering. Or if you're at a basketball game, that you're not just turned around in the student section. So just make sure that you're really paying attention to what you're supposed to be doing at that time. Cheerleaders will be seated together in a designated area during the JV varsity games. You need to support one another. So again, this really applies mostly to basketball. JV cheerleaders must attend all home varsity football games wearing the same attire determined by the coach and all varsity basketball games. Varsity cheerleaders will attend at least one home JV football game to support their teammates. The other thing I'll say about football is right now, other than the Kokomo game, we are not traveling to any away games, so we'll just do the home games. I did ask Mr. Larch about JV home games. He needs to get back to me about that, so I will let you know. Number 12, jobs, competitive teams such as dance, volleyball, etc., anything except for Western athletics are secondary to cheerleading practices and games. Games and practices come first. So if you choose to go to a dance practice or some tournament on a weekend, that is fine. Just realize that you will be accepting the consequences because it is not a Western athletic event. Additional responsibilities. All cheerleaders must participate in fundraising efforts. Determination of where funds will be directed will be decided upon by the coaches. As of now, I don't foresee any fundraising taking place this year. All squads may sponsor a fall and winter youth camp. Probably not going to happen with COVID, unfortunately. Cheerleaders are responsible for making signs when designated. That could happen, so just make sure that you are willing and ready to do that. All practices for cheer appreciation will be mandatory and noted on a calendar prior to the event. I am crossing my fingers we get to do cheer appreciation. There are more practices at that time, but it is obviously always a very rewarding performance. Moving on to discipline. Discipline for violation of the rules. This could be being late to practice or a bus or a meeting place, wearing the wrong uniform, insubordinations, attending non-Western events over cheer events, etc. So here is how the consequences go. And I have documents where I will keep track of these if we need to. So the first violation will just be a verbal warning. The second one will be a half of a game suspension. The third one would be a full game suspension. And the fourth one says dismissal from the squad. That would be a meeting with me, the athlete, and Mr. Larch to talk about what's going to be the next step. I will maintain an individual file for each cheerleader. Violations of cheerleading rules, expectations, and responsibilities will be noted according to the guidelines within this document. A letter will be written to the athletic director detailing violations that lead to the suspension. During the game in which the cheerleader is serving the suspension, the squad member will sit in uniform with the coaches for the entire game. Okay, absences. A doctor's note will be required for the following. If you miss 2 practices because of being sick, or if you miss 2 football games, or 3 basketball games due to being sick. Obviously with COVID, there's a lot of different things going on right now, so please ignore that. This would be a different type of sickness. If you are required to take some time off due to illness or injury, an excused doctor's note with the dates will be needed along with the release. Your release should be from the same doctor. So this really applies to if you injure yourself. If you were injured, I do need to have a document, and I will give that to the school. But the big thing is, in order to be released, so even if you say, Mrs. Bright, I can do this now, I may believe you, but I'm going to need to see documentation. I have to do that. I will not let you participate without it, and it has to be from the same doctor who gave you those restrictions to begin with. Transportation. And cheerleaders are expected to provide their own transportation to and from Western High School for home games and practices and to the meeting point for away games. So that's only if you're doing stuff here at Western. Cheerleaders will always ride with the coaches unless other arrangements are made by the coaches or school administrators. Most often, squad members will ride the bus to away games and are expected to conform to rules regarding proper behavior on school transportation. So obviously with COVID, this is a little bit different. I do have to have a seating chart. So I will have a seating chart and you'll have to sit in that chart. But we do typically have a full bus, so there'll be plenty of room for us. Cheerleaders are to ride with authorized persons. Squad members are not permitted to drive themselves or ride with other students to or from away games. So if you have an away game and you're like, Mrs. Bright, I have a swim meet, but I can come to the game, you cannot drive yourself and you cannot ride with another cheerleader. A parent needs to bring you, or another cheerleader's parent needs to bring you, or you need to ride the bus. Cheerleaders who do not ride home with the coaches must ride home with parents from away games, but the coaching staff must first have a parent notification in person. So I have a sign-out sheet. The parent will sign you out if you are going to be going with them. It cannot be a sibling, just so you know. And most of the time, if it's a different family member, I'm going to need to have a note from your parents, so that way I know that you are okay to ride with them. So that leads to number 5. Must have a handwritten note from a parent to ride with another parent from away games. So if my parents were gone for the weekend, but I don't want to ride the bus back, I can ride back with my friend's parent. I just have to have a note from my parents. Last couple things. Cheerleading expenses and finances. Any cheer gear ruined, lost, or stolen will be replaced by the individual at their own expense. So if you do not turn something in at the end of the year, I will charge you for that. Cheer shoes, bodysuits, and briefs. The cheer coaches will make every effort to raise funds to help offset the costs of all the above mentioned items. So the bodysuits and briefs, a lot of you are ordering those. You will be responsible for paying for, and I will let you know how much you owe. A lot of you asked me about shoes. If you are new to Western High School cheerleading, you can wear any white cheer shoes for football season. I don't care. What we typically do is order the same shoe for basketball season. The girls will do a good job of wearing that just in the gym, keeping them nice and clean. And then for next football season, they'll wear those shoes, and then we'll order new shoes again. So this just helps us to only have to order one pair of shoes and not two. The cheer uniform. The care of the uniform is the responsibility of each individual girl. A cheerleader's uniform should be clean and neat at all times. You can wash that at home. Just make sure you're taking care of it. Uniforms will be cleaned and returned at the end of the season. If not sufficiently cleaned, the uniform in question will be returned to the cheerleader to be cleaned again. So when I look at the uniforms at the end of the season, and I'm like, oh man, this is dirty, I will send it back home and ask you to do it again. And the only other thing I'd like to mention with the uniforms, since we did pass those out today, is that you are able to alter them, but just make sure that whatever alterations you make, they can be undone. So if you took it in, make sure you don't cut anything off. And if you took it out, just make sure that we can rip up that seam to take it back in if need be. I think that's just about everything in regards to the normal things that we talk about. Just a couple more things in regards to COVID, and then that's it. In consulting with Mr. Larsh, you guys are going to have to wear a mask when you're not cheering. So I realize that seems crazy because you're supposed to be cheering pretty much nonstop. But when you are not cheering, you need to pull that mask up. And then once you start cheering, you can pull it down. So we just need to make sure that we're really paying attention to that during this time. Again, I mentioned that you'll have a seating chart for the bus. Please make sure you're being respectful of that. And as always, girls, you guys know, just make sure you're maintaining that social distance so that way we can all stay healthy and continue to participate in these things. So if you notice at the bottom of the screen, there is an acknowledgement portion. Usually I have you turn that in. I may have that happen once I get back to work and back into school. But right now, just make sure that you watch this video. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm really excited for this year. I know it's going to look very different for a lot of reasons, but I think we've got a great group of students, and I'm very, very excited. So again, if you have any questions, please always feel free to ask. Thank you.